Okay, today is May the 9th, 2016. We're watching the Eastern East Pacific Water Vapor Loop. And right now, at about 8:20, we have a temperature of 57 degrees. The relative humidity is 79%. The dew point is 51 degrees, and we have a barometric pressure of 29.96, or about 1,015 millibar. All right, so we're watching another series of thunderstorms being destroyed right here off of El Salvador and the Central American area right here. And we can see a huge hole here and also a tremendous blast pattern all along the southwest flank of this storm. Let's go ahead and take a look at this in the infrared loop. We can see a huge hole from a transmitter superheating the core of this system. This is a large thunderstorm. Now, they've been blowing these apart all day long. I had an opportunity this morning, but I could not get my camera and do a video. But they were just, there was some excellent evidence this morning. Um, Anyhow, we'll work with what we have here. We have some pretty good evidence here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this now in the visible light mode, and we can see what's happening here. Let's go ahead and stop this and roll through it. Now we can see some overlay. They're trying to hide their work, of course, but let's keep going here. So this all occurred previous to the beginning of this loop. I would say probably 3 to 4 hours ago. We missed the huge blast here, but if we run we just let this thing run, we can see that there's a ring, a semicircular ring right here that is moving out against the general flow. Also, we have this ring right there. That is a blast ring from the superheated water vapor that is expanding out radially from this thunderstorm system. So this morning we saw some excellent evidence. We saw a lot of dimple marks all through these storms, and of course I didn't have time to do the video, but we can see that here they have some overlays right there. They're hiding their work. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the temperature chart for the area, these waters right along here, we can understand what's happening. This is bright red right in this area. This is right on the edge of the high part of the scale right here. And here's El Salvador right there, I think it is. Or let's see. Yeah, I think this is El Salvador right there. Anyhow, this is all the brightest red. And if we go down here, we can see the scale, which is right over here. This is the reddest part. This translates to about 88.5 degrees Fahrenheit. If we translate 31.4 degrees Celsius, multiply that times 1.8 and add 32 degrees, we come up with about 80, almost 89 degrees, 88.5 degrees. So these waters all through this area are very, very warm, and that's why we're seeing a lot of the thunderstorm activity out here. These are basically hurricanes in the making, and so they are destroying these ahead of time. They're nipping these in the bud, and we can see where they're hitting them right here and right over here. We can see all that steam as well after they hit these storms with that superheated. When they zap these with the transmitters, the heat generates a lot of steam, and that's what we're seeing right here around the periphery of that big hole. And then we see the blast pattern. Look at this. That is about as good as it gets, folks. Now, if we look at this in the if we look at this in the infrared loop, we can see a lot of diminishment in the core. All this red just dissipates into a light green, and pretty soon there's nothing left except for that big hole. So this is This is being done every day now because of the water temperature. If you have a computer and you can get on the internet, take a look at the eastern East Pacific, and you can see this happening all day long. And so this is the modern day version of climate change, not Al Gore's version. This is the reality version of climate change, what we're watching here. These politicians would have us believe that the Earth is the climate is just changing all on its own. There's no outside influence besides the coal factories and the carbon dioxide that we're breathing out, exhaling. But in fact, we see that there's a whole new area of evidence that needs to be explored, and that's what we're trying to point out in these videos: is that this is far from being natural climate change. This is deliberate, and there are people profiting from this. And anyhow, let's go ahead and take a look at the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop. We can see a gale force system spinning here, and this is appears to be moving. It's sort of going around in a circle. We've got, looks like, two lows here, but they only show one. And we have high pressure developing right here on the backside of this system, which should be delivering rain up into this one province, Alberta. This Fort McMurray is about 2/3 up on this province right up here, right about there. And that place is on fire. It's burning. It's very dry. They call it one of the driest it's ever been. But we see some interesting things happening right here. We're going to take a look at that. We have 80 and 90, high 80-degree temperatures forecast for LA right here. We can see we had cloudy weather all day today. The humidity's up to about 80% right now. And notice Hawaii here, we have some moisture. We have a developing system way out here. But Hawaii is right here. And notice what's happening as this moisture field approaches Hawaii. It just dissipates magically right there. So we've got a transmitter providing a clearing around Hawaii. We can see that. All right. Okay, let's take a look at the infrared loop. And we can see this gale force system. This is not forecast to bring any rain to Southern California. But some of this weather here should be making its way up into Alberta, as we see over here in this province. But over here, right up here, just north of where this weather is, nothing is getting past. It's actually being blown apart right here. So we're going to take a close-up look at that. All right, let's take a quick look at the jet stream. And jet stream is all broken up. There's just not much to report. We have some flow down through British Columbia and across Oregon out to the east. And we have some flow here through Mexico and up to the northeast. All right, here's the western U.S. water vapor loop. And we can see better what's going on up in that province, Alberta. Get the camera straight here. Right here. I'm wondering, why is there tampering going on right here? If you look at this this is the water vapor loop. We have a system here trying to spin up, and we have a transmitter right through here that is hitting the core of this, and so it's amplifying. We've got high pressure being forced down into this developing system. We can see that clockwise rotation right there, where all that descending air is being forced into that core. And what we're also seeing, if we go to the infrared loop, is that right here, right there where the pen tip is, we have some manipulation going on right there. All this weather that should be moving north is being blown apart. And what that means is that any moisture, the moisture that should be moving up into this area to help put that fire out is being stopped. That's what that tells me. This is fairly strong rain. This light red, that is an inch, couple of inches an hour maybe. And that would do wonders to put that fire out. But look what's happening here. This is what we were seeing right off of Eureka, California here a day or two ago. Same thing right there. They're blowing a hole right in that cell as it moves right over the border. We've got a natural flow going north. And notice in this province, everything is moving right up into right up north. But right over here, that's not happening. So that is pretty good evidence. That's very strong evidence of weather manipulation. And someone has done this. That is stopping that rain flow into that fire area. Now, if we look at this in the visible light mode, we can't see a whole lot, but there is a lot of turbulent activity. We can see that same turbulence in this view as well as the others. But there is there's something going on there. We have a transmitter that is blowing apart the moisture as it crosses over the border. Okay, so we got a problem here. Everything is frozen up. What do you know? Great. Okay, so we've got a frozen. These have just stopped. All right. Well, anyhow, we get the gist of what's happening. During times of high importance, we have technical difficulties, but nonetheless, we have weather manipulation, a transmitter right here, stopping that flow as it moves north. Right here in this province, we can clearly see that everything is flowing fine to the north, but right here, fire is right up about 2/3 up this province, and they're stopping that flow. That is criminal beyond belief. Okay, here's the surface analysis map, and we can see that there is high pressure parked up here, and that will block this system from going into Canada. You can see that all season long, these highs have been installed and parked right down here. But this one is up here. So if this decides to go up into Canada, guess what? It's not going to. It'll stay further south and maybe come into Oregon or something. Okay, here's a map of Canada, and Fort McMurray is about 2/3 up. Here's the border right down here. We can see Fort McMurray. That's where the big fire is. Second province over. All right. That pretty much concludes our report for tonight. The maps have suddenly frozen with no way to, I'll have to refresh every one of them. But basically that's it. We'll go ahead and do another update tomorrow. Okay, that's it.